Well, welcome back, everyone. This is 100 Visions Guy. And as you may recall, my last video talking about a design patterns gallery, I kind of referred to this document that I was working on. And I thought, there might be people that want to know how to create a document like this. So I'm going to be doing a video where I'm going to explain all the different steps of doing the following: creating a title page, modifying fonts, setting background colors, adding a table of contents that's sort of automated that you can refresh and kind of build off of, and we'll take a look at that in a bit. And then how to insert images, things you can do with images to get text to wrap around it, and then how to create these little color boxes as well. So let's just go ahead and do that now. I've created a new document. Let me just move this out of the way. And on the new document, we don't have a title. So, of course, we want to give it your website project. And then I'm just going to go ahead and type this out. On page 1, you're going to want to turn this into a title. So there we go. On Google, we have title right here. Now, the first thing I want to show you is how to modify fonts and how to get it so that it will keep and remember the fonts that you're modifying. So the first thing is this is just the default font, which is Arial, as you can see. And what I want to do is change it to one of these other fonts. Now, you may or may not see the same fonts that I do. That is probably because I added some fonts. So I could just, highlight, change the font to one of these, right? But if you don't have it and you want to find it, you just want to go down to the bottom where it says More Fonts. And already, I've got some already checked, some I did not check. So let's say I like this Roboto slab, I can use that. And then I can also sort them differently, alphabetically, date added, trending. So I can see what's kind of a popular one that we're looking at right now. And so once you set one of these, then you can just go back and click OK. So Roboto slab is the one I ended up using here. So I'm going to stick with that one for my title. And this title is only going to appear one time. But one of the things that's worth looking at is anytime you set title, subtitle, heading, whatever, you may wish to click on this little thing here and choose update, whatever, to match. So now in the future, if I type something else out and I want it to be a title on here, I can type it, or I can select the type over here ahead of time. You'll notice now title uses that font. So we can do the same thing for subtitle. And so I think in a title page document, I think the subtitle or who it's by might be great for a subtitle. And then, of course, I also suggested we do things for the class. So web design, as in this is the class this is in. And this is going to be up to whatever anyone tells you that you need to do. So that changes that font. Now watch what I can do here. So let's say I decided for my standard font, I do not want to do Arial. I want to do Armada. So I choose it. Actually, it's probably not a good-looking font at this point, but let's change it to Calibri, how about? And then what I can do is I can click on here and update to match, and it updates this as well. So that's a handy little trick that you can do there. And any kind of other edits you do, like bringing those in together, like making those single-spaced or removing space after, and changing it, let's say 1.5, something like that. You can go in here, you can highlight that again, and click on here and update it to match. So that now, the size or the formatting basically keeps the same. And of course, you can center all this by just clicking on the center tool here. I've seen a lot of students, the first time they try to center, they're centering by adding spaces. You don't want to do that. Okay, so in a title document, there's another thing you may wish to do, and that's change the background color. So for that, you want to choose File, and you want to go down to Page Setup, and now we can change whether that's portrait or landscape. We can set what the margins are going to be, and for paper size, in this case, it's going to be letter. So you might see that there's other options here. Always stick with letter. Page color, then we can modify the color. My recommendation is don't make it a dark color, but feel free to add, sort of a light background color. If you do make it dark, then you're going to have to change all your text to be light colored. All right, so I wanted to have a table of contents on the second page, but not on the first page. So in order to do that, we can go to the end of the first page and just add a page. You can insert a page break. You can also hold down Control and type Enter, and that gives you a page break. And then I'm going to left align this, and I'm going to make this the table of contents. And this time I'm going to make this a heading 1. Heading 1. And then I'm going to change my font to the Roboto slab again. So now now I haven't had it set up so all fonts are doing that, so I'm going to need to set that up. So it's always a good idea if you know you're going to change the heading to update it to match what you like it. Table of contents. Now in table of contents, what you want to do is it's under insert and it's table of contents, and I recommend you do the one that has the page numbers. You'll see there's some indentation. You're going to see this played out in just a moment. Right now you can see table of contents starts at page 2. So you may also want to set it up so that your page 1 or your title page does not count as a page number. Many times documents do that, so let me show you that. So what you want to do is, in order to do this, I click right at the beginning of table of contents, and I'm going to insert a header. And in the header, a lot of times you'll see documents do this. Usually on the right-hand side, there'll be a page number inserted right there. You can automate this as well, and when you do that, you can set it so this becomes page 1, and we don't count the title. So to do that is you figure out where you want this to appear. So I right align it, hit, click in the header. Now I'm going to insert page number and check it out. So if I do it this way, then the first page counts as page 1. But if I do this first page is signified as being title page, so we begin count at 1. And this will appear on the top right. We could also do the bottom right either way. So I put that on there, and now I hit refresh on table of contents, and now it's updated that to be page 1. So we are no longer counting the title page as page 1. So that's how you set that up. All right, we're going to do another page, but you want to be really careful. You don't want to hit enter in here. You want to make sure you're outside of the table of contents. So click far below so that you see your cursor, but you don't see that little spinny sign. Hold down Control, type enter, you're on your new page. And we're going to go ahead and create a header 1. We'll create some headers and we'll add the next part. I'm going to go ahead and select the header first, heading 1, choose it, and then I'm going to go ahead and type in here. I'm going to simplify it. I'm going to just assume I'm typing it out. I'm going to paste without formatting. Design patterns, gallery, set as a heading 1. And then we'll do design number 1, downtown Greeley. I'm going to highlight that, change that to a heading 2. And now we're going to change heading 2 to match the other heading, which I think was Armada, was it? No, Roboto slab. I should have known. My recommendation is all headers use the same font as the heading 1 as heading 2 as heading 3, that kind of a thing. And let's do one more thing. We're going to highlight that, and we're going to do just like we've done before, update heading 2 to match. Okay. So now on here, we want to take a picture and insert it. So if we're going to do that, we want to get our page open and get the snipping tool open. Here's the page where I have the image, so I'm going to get the snipping tool out. Mac, there's some keyboard shortcuts you need to do for that. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy this using the snipping tool. As soon as I'm done, you still see snipping tool here, and you can save it and find it, or you can just click copy. I'm just going to click copy. So this copies it to the clipboard that now I can use. So I can just go back to my document, click on here, and then I can just edit, paste, or Control-V will paste it in. And it will just fit as wide as it needs to go, and then you can add your text here. And another thing we should do on adding the text is this is normal text, so we want to set that font. And this is, I think, what I was going to set it as Calibri. So I want to make sure I highlight it, set it for Calibri, go to normal text, and then update normal text to match. The other thing I'm going to do here is on the paragraph, I'm going to add a space before the paragraph so that it jumps down a little bit. And I'm going to highlight that one more time and do the same thing, update normal text to match. So you can add all your text here. Now I'm just going to copy and paste my remaining text from before and just assume I typed. Let's say you're going to copy text from something else and you want to paste it in. Well, if I were to just go here and paste it, let me just undo that for a moment, and I just paste it in here, you're suddenly going to see a font change from this font to this font. You don't want to do that. In fact, I'm going to delete that in just a moment to explain. So instead of doing it that way, I'm just going to cut this and check this out. I'm going to cut that. I'm going to highlight over here. I'm going to type I because I accidentally left out a word. And then make sure I'm still on the Calibri 11, right-click, paste without formatting. Now it keeps the formatting I have on this page. And if I think that's too small, maybe we go to a 12-point font. That's probably a good idea. And we'll update normal to match. Okay, so now we've got some text here, but I also want to have a screen capture to show another element, and I want my text to wrap around it. This is a very simple task. You can get your snipping tool out again and do a new snip here where you can highlight and capture all of that, and then you can click copy. Here's another thing you can do. On the keyboard, there is a print screen key. And if I hold down Alt and do print screen, I take a picture of this window right here. So I just wanted to show you that. That was Alt print screen, and now I'm going to paste it in, edit, paste, and there's that image. Now this is bigger than I want, and I want text to wrap around it, so I'm going to resize that, go a little bit smaller, and right now it's still inline, which means any text that's like next to it sort of is on the same line, and then it drops below. I'm going to do wrap text. Now with wrap text, I can sort of adjust this any way that I want, that I deem fit. Okay, and then you can also you can click after it if you want to do a new section. Okay, the last thing I wanted to talk about is setting up those color boxes we did for the color codes. So I'm going to add the typography here. I'll leave that alone for now, and then use of colors. And now I'm going to take both of those, highlight them, and turn those into a heading 2. Actually, yes, that's heading 2. Okay, no, actually, it should be a heading 3. So I'm going to highlight that, change it to heading 3. I'm going to change the font to match. And then on heading 3, go ahead, update it to match. And now I know that's going to fit. So on use of colors, back to the normal text, we can just go ahead and add our colors in. The way we're going to do that is by inserting a new a drawing. There we go. So we insert a drawing, and you just want to click on here, go to shapes. We're just going to do a standard box and draw it once. And then I'm going to change the background color to match here by doing custom, and I can plug in a color code right there. So I go to the page, I get the tool here. Let's say I want to get this color. Click on here. There's my color code. I copy that from here, and then I paste it right in here and click OK. And I can save and close. There it is. And I can click inline, or I can wrap text. I think inline might be the way to go. And then now I can do this. Hex code. Bam. By pasting that, though, I don't want to do that. I want to just go back here and paste without formatting. Or if the other way I can do that is once I paste it here, I can highlight that, right-click, and I can clear formatting, and now that's gone. So I'm just going to double-click, got my hex code, and that should probably be bold as well. All right, there we go. Now, easy way to do the next hex code is just to copy that by Control-C or right-click, copy, go over here, right-click, paste. There's my next hex code, and then I can get the next color. So I'm just going to grab this particular one, click on here, get my color code, copy that, head back here, double-click to edit, click here, click custom, paste that in, get rid of my hashtag there, click OK, new color, and now I can just type out the hex code. Now, one last thing I want to show you. This is kind of a cool little technique. I can highlight this right here, and I can use the little paint format tool, and it allows me to then make any other text match what I had highlighted originally. So now we have that down and we have that bold. Okay, so that's the paint format tool. It's a little paintbrush there. And then we have these headers that we added in. This whole section we added in after adding our table of contents. So we have a whole bunch of things here. We have heading 1, heading 2, and we have 2 heading 3s. So watch what I can do with my table of contents. I just click on it. There is that little update. I click it. Bam. Now I have table of contents, page 1. Design patterns gallery, page 2. Design number 1 is 2, but then typography and use of colors is page 3. It's always automated. It is based on the headings. It'll only pick up headings. And when you edit your document and you add content, if you insert content in between or just make any edit to your document, always remember to come back to the table of contents and hit refresh at the end of every time. Okay, hit refresh. And at this point now, you pretty much know how you can add content. So if in the future, well, actually in future video tutorials, I'm going to be adding other components to this web design document. If there's any other formatting issues, I will add that into a new video and let you know about it. But good luck with your Google Docs. I hope this has been informative for you.